college is a place to learn, to grow, to discover oneself. For so many of us, college is also the place where we find that significant person in our lives, and the one whom we'll spend the rest of our lives with. Now, one pair of Centenary sweethearts know this very well. Locke Bryan and Camille Young entered Centenary College as theater majors in 1968. They probably had no idea they would not only receive their academic training here, but they would leave campus with the one that they would marry. The teamwork didn't stop after their marriage in 1980. Camille and Locke jointly own Locke Bryan Productions Incorporated, a full-service video production company specializing in TV commercials and corporate programming. Now, they've been very successful at this, and they have made commercials for big names like Walmart, Texaco, Academy Sports and Outdoors, and Time Warner Cable. Now, since 1972, and in fact, this was the year that this company was founded in Locke's garage, Locke and Camille have worked hard with prospering their business, raising 2 children, and now both grown, serving their home city of Houston as volunteers, board members, and capable business people with integrity, and of course, loving each other. And almost as much as I think they love Centenary, right? Almost as much. Today, the Centenary sweethearts are here to celebrate their start at Centenary and to celebrate the love they found here for each other. Students, you might listen closely. They may have some tips for impressing that special someone. Please help me in welcoming them to the podium.
Dr. Schwab, thank you for those very kind comments. Locke and I are absolutely thrilled to be here. We've been taking pictures and having a wonderful time on this beautiful campus all morning. We cannot believe that it's been 40 years since we were freshmen. I certainly can't be that old. He is, but I'm not. In anticipation of sharing some thoughts with you today, Locke and I have been immersed in Yakupoons, old photos, old scrapbooks, and old memories, basically reminiscing about the people and the events that best reflect our time at Centenary. It's been such fun to revisit those reckless, changing, revolutionary times, the 60s.
But you know, things were not unlike today. The news was filled with stories of the war and the economy. And just in our first year alone, 1968, we witnessed protests and riots that left an unsettling feeling throughout the nation. Now, this was a time when America's youth felt like we could change the world. And in fact, the world was changing around us. We were powerful and strong and doing new things with our minds and bodies.
My favorite memory from 1968 was Christmas Eve. We watched with pride and awe as Apollo 8 orbited the moon for the first time, and James Lovell and Frank Borman, broadcasting from space, read to America from the book of Genesis. It was a moving experience. Now, sometimes, much to our parents' chagrin, Locke and I got caught up in the revolutions of the time: civil rights, the women's movement, and anti-war marches. Students of the 60s regularly participated in sit-ins and love-ins.
Well, now, that's not on the script here. But it was such a tumultuous time. I mean, we witnessed it in that same year. We witnessed the assassinations of Robert F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King, two events that left us feeling vulnerable and uncertain. Of questions about race relations and the role of government and a war we saw as wrong and unjust were our constant companions. Yet despite this turbulence, we felt somehow safe here at Centenary, enjoying a strong sense of community that the college offered as we moved along, absorbed in our classes, and surrounded by supportive friends and faculty.
And while Locke and my undergraduate years overlapped, the details of the experience certainly differed. Both of my parents had graduated from Centenary, and I had been hearing stories about the school all my life and planning to attend this college all my life.
And I had not. Before being accepted at Centenary, I'd never set eyes on the campus. In fact, the first time I saw Centenary was the day I arrived with a trunk full of stuff in the back of Charlie Crady's Pontiac Ventura to start my freshman semester. Now, I came because I had good friends here, and I thought it would be a good time. And at that point in my life, having a good time was very important to me. Still is, actually. However, my acceptance and attendance at Centenary changed my life both professionally and, of course, romantically.
And since the theme of 2009 Founders Day is love, well, we begin our story here. This morning, Locke and I took time to walk around the campus, and we walked up the hill down here by Rotary Hall, and there's a bench there. That bench has my mother's name on it, because that's where my father proposed marriage to my mother in 1947. They were married downtown at First Methodist and graduated together in 1949. Over their 53 years together, their love for each other and for Centenary remained constant. My father, Bob Young, dedicated the bench as a way to express, I always cry on this part. He dedicated it to my mom because he loved her so much and because he loved Centenary.